Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1062. Hello, it's Mike Matthews, broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth. Today, Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, the Brewmaster. I don't talk about Catherine Timpf in this one, so
Mike's Daily Podcast.
If you wanted to hear me swoon some more about Catherine Timpf, it's not going to happen on today's show. Oh, I'm swooning.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
She's so lovely, but what the heck? Look at Virgin America. It looks like an airline based in Alaska is going to acquire them. Alaska Air is going to take that place, that thing, that snare drum that you're hearing. Bah, bah.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Yeah, that guy, that gray-haired British guy.
Mike's
He's gonna lose Virgin America
Daily
and get a lot of money from
Podcast.
Alaska Air. Now, what I like to say is I don't like the guy from Virgin America. I can't think of his name right now. Dang it, British guy. Anyway, I don't like Virgin America, and I will tell you why now. Because I flew a bunch of times on Virgin America, I got a bunch of points, and then I got divorced, and a lot of time went by, and I didn't fly. I had to take care of things at home. I didn't feel like going anywhere. I was sad. I was depressed. I took Southwest. Southwest is cheaper. Suddenly, I lost every single point I had with Virgin America without even an alert or anything taken away from me like that. Perhaps you have had a similar experience. Please email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com, or comment on my Facebook, Twitter, the Tumblr, the Instagram. You can find all those at my website, mikesdailypodcast.com. That just was rude, that they took that all away from me. Frickin' stupid British guy with his big smile. I can't think of his name still. Anyway, so Alaska Air is gonna buy him. Look who walked in just now. Hi, Mike. It's Benita, the rodeo queen. How you doing?
It's a disgruntled fiddle player, tell you what.
What?
That guy, that British guy.
Yeah, the British guy that owns Virgin America.
Yeah, well, he was on an episode of Friends.
He was on the British episode when what was it? Someone was getting married, and the guy that played House was also on that show. I'm never going to remember anybody's name ever again. I've just decided.
What about Trump?
Yeah, that's right. You were going to vote for him, but then it turned out that he said something nasty about you.
Yeah, he said he didn't like people that learned how to play the fiddle and then decided not to play the fiddle because they were disgruntled.
Speaking specifically about you, n'est-ce pas?
Yeah, about me, Nescafe.
Wow, so that's why you don't like him, and you're going to vote for somebody else.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw my vote away.
Okay. Well, it's better than not voting at all.
I was going to vote for my hat. Is what it's going to do.
That's just silly.
I know.
Mike, I think you should vote for Bernie Sanders.
It's just that we ain't going to connect on that level. Benita, I think you and I were in love, and we love each other. But I will never, ever agree with the Bernie Sanders because he's too liberal.
Yeah, but he's a cute guy. Look who just walked in.
Hello, Mike. I make the root beer on the Brewmaster. Are you okay, Mike?
I have a little cough. I think I'm getting a cold. I think I've just gone too hard, too long, too fast, too Pak Shakur, R2D2, to be or not to be, too legit to quit, 2 hearts, 2 of hearts, Stacy Q.
Mike, I love Stacy Q. She's the best. And my root beer is from Applebee's.
You don't make your own root beer anymore?
No, I don't make my own pages. I keep my own birthday.
Exactly. Whatever you just said. I hate bobbleheads. And I don't like celebrities because they have bobbleheads. It's a proven fact that people that get popular are popular because they... Popular people scare me because they have to lose a tremendous amount of weight and be super thin, and their head is really big. But they're just nothing but they're just, ugh. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the celebrity. I'm sick of people everywhere you look, even on the YouTube now. You don't get popular on YouTube unless you're good looking, unless you're hot and you have a bobblehead. You gotta stop with the bobbleheads, people. Start watching videos by people that don't have traditional bodies. Maybe have huge guts and little heads. Little heads. Watch people. Now we're halfway there. We had the little man, for whatever they prefer to be called, on the SNL last night. That guy. His name is... see, I don't remember anybody's names anymore, so forget it. I was going to say, though, George Clooney. Did you hear about that? Did you hear it? Hey, did you hear about this? That he was... there was an interview with George Clooney. Get this, as I've turned into a talk show radio host on a radio station. Get this, they posted an interview that was completely fabricated. This Hello magazine. Did you hear about this? That's stupid. But I'm surprised. This probably happens all the time. These magazines, online magazines, and etc., that say they have exclusive interviews, they probably really don't. You can't tell when it's in writing, right? When it's written down. How are you supposed to know? You just take it as... So don't believe everything you see in the printed word. But believe everything I am saying to you through my voice. Because I speak... I would never lie to you. I would never fib about, like, the fact that I'm actually at a restaurant right now with all these wonderful people drinking and eating behind me. But there's no pot! No pot in here! Oh, wait, but there's a phone, apparently. Can you hear the phone ringing? Hold on, let me go get that.
Later that day.
Oh, somebody was calling because at the radio station I record this podcast at, I had a question. The radio station is doing a contest, and it has to do with texting, because texting's all the rage. Everybody's texting. All the millennials are texting. All the millennials are walking around with their earbuds in, listening to their music on their iPhones or their Samsungs, and they're listening, and they're staying. They're blocking out the world because they don't want to talk to anyone. Who's that guy? Who's that guy walking towards me? Is that Mike Matthews, host of Mike's Daily Podcast? I don't want to talk to him. I want to listen to Mike's Daily Podcast on my iPhone. Hopefully is what they're listening to. But they're probably listening to frickin' This American Life. Yes, I did a cartoon this past week with Shelley Shuhart, poking fun at This American Life. 'Cause I hate that show. All these people that don't sound like typical radio people. They sound like young people that don't know how to talk on the radio. They talk really fast and quickly, and they don't enunciate their words. I don't like that! I don't like that. I want it to sound like a radio announcers, like that talk radio host we heard a little bit earlier. Anyway, this person was asking about this text contest, and I explained it to her in detail. I was very, very specific, and I enunciated. I know I don't enunciate all the time. Words that have letters, I'll drop a letter or two. What the hell? And the guy's name, by the way, was Ryan Seacrest that owns Virgin America.
Mark, I believe you got it wrong guy.
It's Richard Dawson. Dawson's Creek.
Okay, you just named the host of a TV show, and then you named an actual TV show. Tell you what.
What?
I'm voting for a hat.
Don't throw your vote away.
You don't think I should vote at all?
No, just go ahead and throw your vote away then. Because Trump made fun of you. Oh, Trump has irritated Reince Priebus of the Republican Party, the RNC head. He says Donald Trump's threat to go third party is, quote, not helpful. Yeah, it's not helpful. Yeah, it's going to destroy it. Forget the Republicans winning the presidency if Trump goes third party. But the Republicans hate him so much. Somebody was talking to me. I was telling them about the Christian radio station I work for. Because, yeah, I work for 8 different radio stations, basically. But he said to me, hey, so they must be, that Christian station must be all for Donald Trump. And I said, they don't want him. Christians don't want him because he uses bad words. Because he's loud and obnoxious and doesn't seem very Christian-y. They'd rather have the Ted Cruz, who might as well just take a flag and a crucifix and wrap himself in both. I don't know if you can't really wrap yourself in a crucifix. But he is so just playing to that, kowtowing to that crowd. Ted Cruz. Speaking of Texas and country music, I'm on Country Crossroads Radio this Tuesday. Yeehaw! It's going to be fun. I'm in for Josh Tanner, the program director, the owner, the man who created that radio network. I like country music. I do. Yes, some of the country songs are backwards and simple-minded, but you know what? In this complicated world, you need to be a little simple-minded sometimes. It's okay. It's okay to let your simple-minded side fly, as it were. Let it out. Get your simple-mindedness on. That's what I'm saying. Mark, that's wrong. You should be complex-minded. That's a good point, Benita.
Mark, I like oat beer.
You're right. Complicated minds are much better. Brewmaster.
That's right. That's what I said.
Reince Priebus. Reince? Is that like not a German name, Reince? Because it rhymes with eins? Eins, zwei, drei? Hey, let's get to the podcast picture right now.
And here's today's podcast picture.
The podcast picture is of the wonderful town, I think this is Rothenburg. When I went to visit in 2009, I am so missing Germany now. The reason why I miss it is because there's really no way I can go there. It's going to be too expensive. It's going to be a long trip. That means I want to be away from Basil the Boxer. We're going to bring you the Word-of-Dog in just a little bit. I love my dog, and I don't want to leave him. But yet, I want to see my relatives. It's tough. And then I gotta put my faith in a bunch of people. And I can trust them, yeah, but I feel bad. I just feel bad imposing. But Mike, why don't you put him in a kennel? I'm not gonna do that. That's even worse. He's in an unfamiliar place with these dogs. But Mike, he's just a dog. He likes to be with dogs. Whatever, person. What is your name anyway? Person. I don't know what my name is. Next weekend is Name Yourself Day. It's a true thing. Next Saturday. Look it up. Some people know their names too well. They got huge egos is what I'm trying to say. And the last show you heard all about how Kevin, he doesn't have a big ego. He's got a wonderful sized ego. He's wonderful. He usually does addendum with Kevin, but because of the ego that he has to produce his show for, he produces this ego's show. The egoed all over the place saying, hey, on April Fool's Day, I want to do a joke. You do all the work, Kevin. So Kevin did all the work, and then he ended up chickening out and not doing an April Fool's joke. What an ego. Ugh. Please, egos, bobbleheads, quit with it, will ya? You're no one. You know what? I was listening to Wait, Don't Tell Me. And the guy who hosts that show, I'm not going to remember his name either, Russell Bivens, Richard Dawson is his name. He hosts the show. Wait, Don't Tell Me. He said, he was talking about a study where there was a story shown to various people, and the study showed that the people that there were misspellings and spelling errors in the story, and it turned out that the people that all they did was focus on the misspellings, they ended up being more annoying, narcissistic, antisocial people. I would hazard to say that those people would host radio shows, big-time talk shows, because that seems to be the type that hosts big-time talk shows. Annoying, narcissistic, myopic, self-absorbed, annoying people. Did I say annoying? They're annoying. Everything with an A. The 3 A's. Annoying, antisocial, apathetic. What's the fourth A? Toll. That's right. So, who needs those people? But the problem is you probably listen to their shows and go, these are the best hosts shows I've ever heard in my life. But you don't know behind the scenes what a-holes these people are. It's annoying. Once again, have I said annoying enough? I don't like egos. So Cumulus went along. Cumulus loves egos. Cumulus promotes egos at every chance they get. Cumulus owns a bunch of radio stations. They let me go back in 2009. Not that I'm bitter. Oh, yes, I am bitter. It was 2008. It was a while ago. And then I wasn't in radio for 5 years because of that. I hated radio and everything it represented for so long. You can go back and listen to my past podcasts and hear how angry I was back in 2011. And this show is going to be 5 years old next month. Exciting. So I was so mad at radio, I got out of it for a while. And because of Cumulus, that's why. KGO in San Francisco has a bunch of talk show hosts. They fired everyone except for like one guy on Thursday morning. And then they're going to completely rearrange K-Fog, which used to be one of my favorite stations. I used to listen to it when I didn't live in the Bay Area. They played a cool mix of like classic rock and new artists and artists that didn't get played a lot on the radio, singer-songwriter types. Loved it. They had this awesome show called Acoustic Sunrise I used to listen to all the time. Great unplugged acoustic versions, live versions of songs. Loved that show. Well, that's going to be completely thrown out the window. They fired everybody that works on that station. All the DJs are gone. Going to do something new with that in the Bay Area. Complete shakeup. People that had worked at that station or for either KGO or KFOG for like 40 years, gone. That's how crappy frickin' Cumulus is. I'm not sending any resumes to Cumulus anytime soon, so I don't care what if any Cumulus people hear this. You suck. Your company sucks. Ugh. You need to get it together. Get your shit together. Thank you. I was trying to find the word, but once again, I'm having trouble thinking of words today. Well, that's pretty much it. I think we've summed up the world today in as best a fashion as we can. Did I miss something? Kesha? Oh, that's another. Kesha said, "Hey, you know what they did you hear about this? Kesha said that she was offered her freedom if she apologized for her rape allegations. What's that about? Kesha, why all the complaining? Just record another song with Dr. Luke. We love your music." Dr. Luke is such a jerk. Probably works for Cumulus. All right. So if you want to hear more about the... Oh, one other thing. I went to my friend Terry's birthday last night, and... oh, no! Drew Barrymore is getting a divorce from Will Copeland. This will be like her second marriage hitting the rocks. Darn it. Well, I mean, that's good because she's single again. Drew Barrymore's around my age, so this could work. But I feel bad. Divorce is never anything to applaud. Dang it. Well, back to Terry. It was her birthday last night. She did a special Jamaica-themed birthday party because she and her boyfriend of like 30 years, they met during a trip to Jamaica. It was a cruise ship, and she met him on the cruise ship, and they've been together ever since. It's so lovely. So the both of them were there, and she made this beautiful illuminated wreath with using those little umbrellas that you stick in your frou-frou drink. She used a bunch of those, and they're illuminated from behind, and it's a very colorful rainbow-type wreath. It's brilliant. And there was rum punch there. There was some Jamaican sort of inspired meals like fried plantains and rice and beans, and there was some fish stuff. Oh, it was fantastic. Hummingbird cake, which is like a Jamaican delicacy dessert. It was a wonderful, wonderful night. And I talked to some people. I met Terry back at UC Santa Barbara back in 1990. I did a play that she directed. She directed a Shakespeare play, the only time I've done a Shakespeare play. And this goes back to a couple weeks ago. I mentioned I was listening to the Paul F. Tompkins podcast, and one of the guys on his show did the same Shakespeare play that Terry and I did, and he played the same role that I played. So, All's Well That Ends Well was the name of the Shakespeare play. Perhaps you've heard of it. And I talked to some other former UCSB alumni. This lovely married couple that I spoke to, they were older than me. They looked younger than me. They were amazingly young and youthful, and just a pleasure to speak to. I talked to them for about 2 hours last night. It was so much fun. And then on my drive home from Foster City, back to Podcastro Valley, I listened to last week's Monday show, the show entitled Monkeys. It was the 1057 show with Haley the Semi. I laughed so hard I almost drove off of 880 in San Leandro. Oh my gosh, I was dying, especially when we were trying to say the word Basil Rathbone all Britishy. Go back and listen to that. It was so funny. And then I also had a party on Friday night, as well as I went to a party Saturday night. I had my own party on Friday night where I invited Robert of the segment Welsh on the World. Robert Owen Welsh showed up, and his lovely new wife, Christy. And then Dalton, who hosts the sports podcast that I always complain about, that he has more listeners than I do, and he's just started the podcast. I think I complained about it on the last podcast I did and said it was my reason for quitting my own podcast, but then it was an April Fool's joke, haha. But yeah, Dalton was there at my party, and Robert and Christy, and I made a delicious burger where I infused it with cumin and other spices and cooked onions, and then I put pepper jack cheese on this burger, and then wrapped it in lavash along with tomatoes and lettuce and a cucumber tzatziki sauce, Sia sauce, Sia, and her song Breathe. That's all. Sia has so many great songs, and I can't think of a single one. Haley's the one that always thinks of them. Anyway, that sauce. Anyway, so good. What a party. And there was karaoke singing. A lot of Killers was sung on Friday night for some reason. I'm not sure why. And even some Oasis and Don't Look Back in Anger. We sang that. Don't look back in anger, and drop letters and vowels. Check out MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com, which has links to all the social media where you can comment and tell me what Sia song you like the best, and what sauce I'm trying to say that I can't say, and who the owner of Virgin America is, and Virgin, that guy. Richard Branson. Fuck! That took forever. You knew I was going to come around to it eventually. I swear I did not look that up on the computer. at Cafe Anyway, we have unplugged all the computers. Thank you so much for being patient and listening to this podcast. If you want to help out the podcast and keep it going, you can click on that Amazon link, and when you're buying something on Amazon, whatever it was you were going to buy anyway, maybe you're going to buy some more toilet paper. You need some more toilet paper for the bathroom. Please click on that Amazon link first before you do that, and that helps us out. Or you can just donate through the PayPal, and that helps us out too. It's wonderful. All that at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Well, where has the time gone? We need to get to the wonderful segment called The Word-of-Dog.
The Word-of-Dog.
I own a dog. You should too. Dogs are great. Here's a tip for you if you have a dog. Or if you're going to walk your friend's dog or something and you need a tip. Here's a tip for you. Beware of coyotes. Yes, coyotes is a thing all around the U.S. In fact, I was speaking to a guy today as I was walking Basil the Boxer. That's how he sounds. As I was walking him, this guy was telling me, and he was walking a Chinese chin? Is that the name of the dog? Anyway, it's this cute little pug sort of thing with lots of hair and a beautiful smile, big eyes, an underbite, really cute dog. And then also he was walking a Jack Russell Chihuahua mix, a Chihuahua Russell. And he was telling me that he had a friend that was walking a dog in New Mexico, and suddenly out of nowhere these two coyotes came, and he had a Chinese chin or whatever it's called dog. And the dog thought it was going to, start playing with these two coyotes, and the guy took a bunch of rocks, threw them at the coyotes, made them run away. That little dog was going to become lunch to those two coyotes. So be careful. What the coyotes do is, a dog owner has told me this, they will lead your dog away, thinking that he or she is playing with another dog. When in fact, the coyotes are luring your dog away from you so that they can go and eat him. Yes, scary, isn't it? Or, just attack your dog. Be careful. I was walking Basil the Boxer. It was, and this usually happens around dusk. The sun had just gone down, and I see two silhouettes, two husky-looking things, German Shepherd-looking things running across the trail. And Basil wanted to go after him, but luckily I had him on leash, because if he would have gone after those two coyotes, they would have attacked him, and no more Basil. So, please, keep that in mind, the Word-of-Dog. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Thank you so much for listening to the show. I got to wrap this up because I'm only here at this station for another hour and a half or so. And then I got to get to bed, sleep hopefully 6 hours, and then get up and go over and do another podcast with Haley the Semi. So perhaps you're going to hear that show before you hear this show. Whatever. Life goes on. I'm not going to complain, am I, Benita?
No, Mike, but we got to go. Because it's a beautiful night out here, but I think I saw some coyotes run by.
Ah, scary.
Yeah, Mike, that's real bad. If I had my gun with me, I ought to shoot those coyotes dead.
I wouldn't have been able to watch that.
Well, this circle of life. Dog is born. It's attacked by a coyote. I shoot and kill the coyote.
That's a horrible circle. I don't want that to be the circle of life. Change that circle. Change it to a square. Change it to a shape that doesn't have an end to it. A never-ending... I gotta end it. I'm word drunk now. Next show, we're gonna have Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. Woohoo!
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!